Hey everyone, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been about a minute since I've been on here. I don't know. I've been getting better. Not how do I put it? Not having so many crying moments. It's getting a little easier. So, I'm here to tell you that welcome to Be So Light. I am Felicia Niana as well as Priestess Makala. So, also, I am the co founder and the vessel of Spiral Light. So, and I kind of still try to figure out how to best way say that because it's such a wonderful gift to do. And one thing that I'm offering is a free webinar that will be on Zoom. That's the only way you're going to be able to attend. And your face has to be present in order for us to do this work. Physically have to see you. Reasoning is because of the amount of work that we're going to be doing in this webinar, it's easier to have you present so that when we are going into this work, you are actually being true and authentic with yourself and not in a hiding place. Okay. So if you're showing up to really come and do the work, you'll be doing it in a good way, and it will allow you to really transform and let go of what no longer serves you. So one of the things I wanted to say about the Spiral Light webinar is coming up later in June. I'm not going to say exact day, but it's coming up in June. And you'll have time to prepare. You have time. It's going to be at a good time. But this mainly is for the people of Puerto Rico. This is a webinar that is going to be free for the people of Puerto Rico. And the reason why I am doing this is because I saw the devastation of everything after Maria hit. And I know how my soul Taino family was stricken with that hurricane when it hit and the devastation that took place. There are still people on the island today, 6 years later, still suffering from the traumatic emotional stresses of that hurricane. And yet, a lot of things have not been done to provide to get people's homes in order. They finally got the infrastructure up for web connection, telephone connection, so that's been restored. But the emotional trauma that you experience, and not just only Puerto Rico, but Florida, what they went through, New Orleans, what they went through, Texas area, Mexico, all those areas that have been hit with some type of nature force energy that came through and just devastated them. Can you imagine holding that devastation in your cells and you're still trying to go out and earn a living, trying to put a smile on your face, trying to move ahead, but you have this secret energy running in the background of the fear that it could all come back and hunt you and happen again and bringing in all that devastation again. This can happen with anything, not just hurricane. Let's talk about California fires. Let's talk about Paradise. Let's talk about how they got out and it was just devastational fires. So let's look at how we can heal that and release that. And I offer up my gifts, my work of Spiral Light. And I really wanted to take it out in the best way possible to help those who have been carrying that. If it's not a hurricane trauma that you've been carrying, maybe you've been carrying a trauma, something from the past has happened to you, something that's still hanging over you, and it you never got over it. A resentment, an anger, a guilt, a shame, depression, negative thought patterns that you keep saying to yourself and don't know why it's there. And Spiral Light has just been, such a wonderful modality that I am very, very happy to be working with. So far, the book is coming along. I'm putting a lot of my cases in the book and talking about what happened, from everything from babies that were having a difficult time, to people who have had, certain things happen from certain solutions and things that they had to take. Okay. What do I do? Watch my eyes. So you know what I'm talking about. And having that be able to, start working out of the system, which is really, really awesome to see, because here's the most divine thing. We are divine light beings. We're just in this body temporarily. We're divine beings. So when you actually say that you are going to change or heal something in your body has no choice but to follow that. Your mind and spirit has no choice but to follow that. So this is what makes it so wonderful. When you decide that you are ready to heal, you will step into your healing and own it and will heal. This is not a webinar for anyone who is just coming just to be a looky poo. This is not for you. This is for people who seriously want to do some healing, because you're going to see the results. Now, if you are someone that's really heavy into recreational drugs and everything, it doesn't really work effectively, because if you're under influence and you're coming in trying to do this healing modality, session for yourself, it's not going to work for you, because you're not present. Let's just put it that way. Spirit just said they're not present. You're not present. There is a reason why people numb themselves out, because they don't want to be in the present situation or the present emotional energy at that time. So when you numb yourself out, you are not being present. Okay, you leave your door wide open and you're not there. Your home is vacant. Okay, so I take what I do very seriously, and I love being of service with working with the frequencies that come in, working with going into the root cause and walking people through their healing. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in and you're really wanting to be a part of that, please send me a message and to the chat here, leave your comments there and how you want to be able to get in contact with me. You can also get in contact with me through galacticspirallight.com. That's right, I said it, galacticspirallight.com. Yeah, that's talking about, when my divine team came in and they said, well, we're going to make you galactic. And I said, ooh, that sounds exciting. And I was like, wait a minute, what's that really mean? So when that came into play, it was like, all right, I guess we're changing up a little bit more. We're moving through a little bit more. We're doing something a little bit more straight in your face type of thing. So that's what's coming up in June. And you'll have time to prepare for it. So like I said, if this sounds like a webinar that you want to be a part of, please let me know. I will put the details up on when it's going to be, how it's going to be, and it's probably going to be, in my newsletter that you can follow on my galacticspirallight.com. Go into the symbol for WordPress at the very bottom, hit that, and it will take you into my monthly newsletters. I have to stop and think, wait, what am I saying? Newsletter. So are you finding it kind of hard, since all these really strong light energies have been coming in, to try to get your kind of try to get with yourself and what timeline you're in, being present, being grounded within the self, and really moving into it? It's kind of challenging right now because the energy of that sun is really kicking up. And yes, yes, it's going to get really strong. Yeah, just imagine how strong it's going to get. So here's a message. I was asking all these questions, and I do have a read that I'm going to present here. So, but here's a question. I asked the question to creator, and I said, what is going on? Why do I feel like I'm like either 2 months ahead or 2 months behind? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Something feels weird because I'm looking at how hot it started getting. Now, normally we don't see this type of heat coming until like mid June, towards the end of June, and then it really starts taking off July and August. We're just been in May. Hello, darling, hello. And the heat just kicked in like crazy and just became this excruciating heat just showing up, but it's a different type of heat. Okay, it's a different type of heat. So I've been paying attention to that, and then just talking to some of the grandmothers on Puerto Rico, and I asked a question about, what's the weather like over there? Because I'm wanting to do some travel and go and do some medicine work over there. And next thing I know, yeah, I hear she says it's already 100 and something, and it's only May. Normally, we don't get this until July. So that's telling me there's a 2-month marker where we energetically moved forward like 2 months ahead energetically. Okay. But we're in May. So really, if you think about it, we're really in July. Okay. But we've energetically moved ahead, and now the energy is kicking in. They're speeding up the timeline. What it is, we have one timeline that's trying to pull us back 30 years. Okay, part of the reset. The xenomorphs always want to do this, pull us back 30 years. They can't just leave well enough. No, no, no. Because if we fully 100% stand in the power of who we are and wake up and stop doing things that slows down our process and really own it, this whole thing could have been over with. Kick, 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 bye, 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 bye. So because we're still all making adjustments, still healing, still whatever's coming up. So just imagine, where were you 30 years ago? What was going on in your life 30 years ago? Imagine that showing up again in a different scenario. So you're going to be tested on people coming into your life, running some kind of repeat program thing with you, triggering you, making you feel like, what the hell's going on? I've already been through this with someone else. But it's a disguise because they're going to use somebody else to try to get towards you. And what I mean by that is a game of keeping your light dim. It's a game of distracting you. It's a game of helping you not to move forward. It's a game of keeping you stuck. It's a game of repeat the same loop, repeat the same pattern. That's what it's a game of. You have to be on your A game now to see it for what it is, acknowledge it, and then say, I'm sorry, I'm not consenting to that. I'm not consenting to that timeline. I'm not consenting to that person that's imitating something from 30 years ago. No. Like, for instance, if my ex-husband showed up, oh, hell no, I got something for you. And it ain't going to be like, hi. You're going to wish you didn't show up because I am not that same woman 30 years ago. I am a totally different person that will scare the shit out of you. So, yeah, I got something for him if he ever shows up. Anyway, with that being said, you got to have your extra game on, people. I'm sorry. You just really got to make sure that your true doppelganger is working for your better half. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I said that. So just know that this is that spiritual warfare energy that's going on. So you want to be on your A game. This is not the time to be going back and forth in patterns of the past. No, you don't want to do that. It's a trick. It's to delay you. It's to confuse you. It's to keep you in that timeline. Okay. Remember what I said. They're using music, 70s, 80s, whatever. They're using movies, they're using clothes, shoes. Really? Hell no. I want my feet as close to Mother Earth as possible. I don't want to be wearing some big ass platform shoes that are going to keep me from the true essence of Mother Earth. You see what I'm saying? Look at the game and know how you want to move your chess part and say checkmate, queen me or whatever, get the highest points. So, with that being said, this webinar is going to be all about helping to clear those stuck energies, those timelines, releasing the anchor hooks to those timelines that are rooted within you that has caused you trauma, emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. Okay. Going in and being able to be your own healer for yourself. You're going to do the work. All I'm doing is going to walk you through it, create sacred anchored space, grid light around each person that attends. I have no idea how that all is going to work because I just was told just put it together, organize it, have another host person with you, which will be the Taino grandmother from Puerto Rico that will be there translating in Spanish what I am doing, which is going to be so awesome. So I'm looking so forward to working with her and to be able to do this. Last time we were trying to make a plan to do this, something came up. Um, and I didn't get a chance to really start putting the layout for it. It was delayed. So eclipse, all these eclipses came up, started winding up the energy and moving things a little faster. So that showed itself. And I was like, okay, well, let's just move on a little bit. So, and then things that I kind of been through and experienced. And everyone, thank you so much for your love and everything for my time letting my friend Deb go. And she's moved through her 9 days after she was released off of life support. And I remember when we were driving, or somewhere we were, I think it was in Shasta, week before last with Tara. And I said, yes, I hope everything is good. This was before she was let off of the life support. And I said I wanted a sign from her. And I said her favorite symbol was peacocks. She likes peacocks. And I said, wow, yeah. So my friend was like, oh, well, there's a drawing. There's a pretty peacock picture in the store, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, it's not good enough. She has to really go out of her way to show me some pretty peacock pictures, something like that. So, are you ready for this? I love you, Dan. So, I went to Lincoln to go wash my car. This was like, I think it was on a Thursday. I think it was Thursday. Yeah, I think it was a Thursday. I went to go wash my car and washed it and polished it up and got it all mystic night looking, got the gleam on. Woo! And it was kind of weird because I knew they were doing construction right out in front where I was washing at the car wash place. And I said, oh, I don't want to go back that way because it's noon. And now it's going to be a lot of traffic trying to get back that way. I'll go and take the back road and loop up and cut in front of all the traffic. It didn't work like that. Didn't happen like that. So let me tell you what happened. So I'm driving thinking that me, I'm going to get ahead of it and get back on the other street and just go straight down. No, I ended up in some residential area, all these homes. I'm all like, where the hell am I? Then I see a school. I pass by a school. I'm like, where the hell am I? Then I see a cemetery, and they're getting ready for Memorial Day and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, now, hell, now I'm down over here by a cemetery. So I had to go make a turn down through a street because I went down the street past the cemetery and I'm thinking, okay, let me see if I go past the cemetery and it dumps me out in front. And it comes to a dead end. Of course, it comes to a dead end. What cemetery place doesn't come to a dead end? Of course. So, so I turned around and I said, come on, why am I getting stuck here? And would you believe in that moment, on that timeline, that as I turn my car around, and I'm going to go back to the stop sign, make a left, see if that'll take me somewhere, get me out of the residential area by the cemetery. And I see these three birds walking. And I said, oh, there's turkeys walking across. And as I get a little closer, they're not turkeys. They're three peacocks, one green, one blue, and one white, walking past me in front. Where's my, won't be able to show it. And I was just like, I said, of all places, these peacocks. Here, let me see. You won't be able to see the white one because it's off to the side. But there's the green one. Oh my gosh. And the blue one. But those are the two I was after capture. And it was just so weird to see that. And I was like, and I heard really quick a little laugh. I heard this, and she goes, how's that for you, lovely? And I go, Deb, Deb. So right then and there, of course, I'm sitting there. Cemetery is over here, peacock's over here. And I start bawling. And I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much for the sign. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So just to see the peacocks walking in front of me, and they were so pretty. A lot of people were stopping, taking pictures of them. And I said, yeah, that's something Deb would do. Make sure they have some gorgeous peacocks walking past. And so I was just like, really, I just smiled. And it's like my whole day after that was just so good. Everything was just falling into place, things that I needed. Things were just, everything was everything was just so good. And I just like, yeah, I got to wash my car more often down this way. I got on that different timeline. But I was so happy to see that. So, with that being said, yes, a free webinar coming up. It will be a good 92-hour webinar so people can get their healing. And it's going to be in June. I'm not going to give the exact date just yet. The grandmother has the date. I have the date, but I'm not going to share it just yet. So I want to make sure to plant that. And more than likely, I will put it in my newsletter that you can read, like I said, on my galacticspiralite.com. So go down to the WordPress and you can take a look. So let's take a look at what the energy is going to be like this week, because we're stepping into, like I said, that going backwards 30 years. And I'm like, nah, I'm not consenting to that. So I'm already saying I'm not consenting to it. So what are we seeking? Let's see what we're seeking. What are we seeking? What's the energy for the consciousness of this week? What are we seeking? I've been very much so into my dragons. I love my dragons. What is the message? If you have never worked with dragon energy, I would highly suggest you do. Learn to get your dragons, find out who your dragons are, and make sure they are for the highest good for you. Okay. And then we're going to look at Psychic Tarot. Once we have the message of what we're seeking, what is the energy for the rest of this week looking like? What do we got to pay attention to? Besides the norm, xenomorphs trying to take out the normal people. Oh, and by the way, as that sun gets higher, they're going to have a harder time trying to cover themselves, mask themselves, trying to keep their camouflage look. So don't be shocked. Like you might be, I don't know, going in the Safeway or Whole Foods somewhere and shopping, and all of a sudden you turn around and there's this 7 foot looking like lizard thing standing next to you, and they glitch out, and next thing you know, they turn back to human, then they turn back into a reptilian. Get ready for it. Glitching has begun in the plant medicine. Notice how I'm laughing about it. Because payback's the mother, ain't it? I don't care. I don't care. And here we go, frequency. And you know what, too? Only people that come to my channel are the ones that are awake. Those are the only ones that can find my channel. And you know what? That's good because it's like a secret club. Frequency. See how I turned that all around? Okay, so here's the message. Set it free. OMG. Set it free. Yes, set it free. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Set it free. So we're seeking what needs to be set free. The message in that is have courage. So I'm automatically, as soon as I see the lion, my mind, the energy is taking me to August. We're going to see some major stuff in August. Make sure everyone notes that August is going to be a timeline of major shifting, because we're going to have a major shifting in July. That's going to be a new gateway. All right. That Stargate is going to be lit up. Not the same, just one, several of them. Anyway, the message from the tarot is our base chakra, the root chakra, getting in there, being strong, being rooted into self, into your divinity, and then knowing your joy and stability, creating that for yourself, staying focused in that. Don't let someone come along and ruin your parade. The crystal people are saying have boundaries. Yes, this is going to be so important. This is going to make a difference between you going all the way back to 30 years to you dealing with something that might have happened 6 years ago, might have happened 3 months ago, might have happened 2 weeks ago. Boundaries, setting up boundaries, what you will allow, what you will not allow in your space. That goes for family, people, jobs, whatever you call your space, you have boundaries. Then we have the mother of the Ganges, which is the liberation. I honor my sacred temple. That's being true to yourself, being really truthful to yourself. The plant medicine, we have to be calm. So we're going to do some chamomile, those of us that can do it. Now, if you suffer with allergies, like hay fever or any kind of seasonal allergies, chamomile is not going to be your friend because it's a part of the ragweed family. So be really careful with that. A little bit, not a lot, but not for long periods of time either. Okay. So frequency, what we're moving into is integration, and we are moving into higher self integration. That sun is going to be promoting a lot of that energy coming in. So this frequency work that we're stepping into is really going to be moving that energy in. And then our last card, I forgot to shuffle, in our divine nature. I forgot to shuffle you. So I'll make the integration card last, and then the nature, divine nature cards. Love the back of these. Divine nature is dance. If you need to get your body moving and get some creativity going on, you need to dance. And that is a 5 energy, which we're in right now. So that 5 energy, creating that dancing energy to move through, moving the body, moving out of stuckness, creating flow, creating liberation, moving out of that. So this is a really good read. Set it free, have courage, work that root chakra, stay in that joy and stability, have boundaries for yourself, know your liberations, and honor your sacred temple. Calm forward with the chamomile, and then integration. So a lot of us are going to go through initiations. You're going to have points of yourself where you're being initiated, you're going through energy, going through changes, leveling up in yourself, what you're saying no to. It's just going to snap into place. You're just going to wake up and say, you know what, I don't want this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And then when you're ready to shift from that, you're going to shift into what you're supposed to be doing. Now, with Spiral Light, I need all of you to pay attention to this. Now, when you come in and you have your sessions with me, people don't realize Spiral Light stays with you for a little bit, okay? Like a week or two, maybe 3, depending on how deep you go. But it stays in there and it keeps lifting things up and keeps moving things. And if there is something that you're lying to yourself about, Spiral Light's gonna lift it. it's kind of gonna do this. It's gonna unhinge it. So just keep that in mind. Those of you that are tribes of this Be So Light tribe, and you're gonna come over and do that webinar. Okay, it's a free webinar. It's gonna be on Zoom. So I'm looking forward to doing that in June. Let's just say it's gonna be past the 3rd week of June. Let's just put it like that. Okay. So it gives you plenty of time to get yourself ready to do that so that you can be a part of that. And I'm looking forward to doing this. And it's going to be really, my intentions is to help those that are really open to heal themselves, to let go of something that's they've been emotionally anchored into and they have to really get in there and clean it. Here's the secret with Spiral Light. Spiral Light is this: when you're working with the higher frequency codes and then we're calling out whatever the root cause timeline that you're dealing with and asking it to leave, you're releasing it, you're letting it go. You don't want to talk about it afterwards. And this is the number one thing I see people do, not just only with Spiral Light, but with Reiki sessions, with Huna sessions, any kind of energy session. This is the number one thing people do. You have gotten so used to having that energy in your space. And when it is gone, you actually will look for it and bring it back because you were so used to having it in your space. You're not used to not having it in your space. So when you do any kind of healing work or healing clearing on yourself, don't look for it. Don't say the number one thing I tell my clients not to say. Oh, I wonder if it's gone for real. Did you or did you not do the work on yourself? Did you or did you not consent to healing yourself? Did you or did you not join up with Creator so you can have that healing done? Then why are you looking for it to come back? That's the number one thing why when we do our healing, when we heal ourselves, and then you come and you look for it to come back because you're so used to it being there. It's almost like you won't give yourself permission to start living your life without it. And I've seen, this is why Louise Hayes wrote the books, Some People Heal, Some People Don't, because of the fact there are some people that are just so afraid to have a normal life without their illness being a part of it, without their whatever they suffer with being there, partnership with the disease. Once you divorce it and let it go and get rid of it, don't go looking for it to come back. It has been uninvited. It's transmuted. It's deactivated. It's gone. Let it go. Set it free. Hello, set it free. So when you master that and don't go looking for it, that's how you know you have your boundaries up. That's how you know you heal. That's how you know you took a big leap forward because you're not calling it back. You're not giving yourself permission to engage with that energy again. Let me say that again. Thank you. You're not giving yourself permission to engage with the energy that you just worked your butt off for to get rid of. You're not giving it permission to come back. Haven't you been a prisoner to that long enough? Okay. So don't give yourself permission to engage with it. All right. So that's the message for this week. Like I said, I will have posted info later on this week and the new newsletter going in for June. That sun, yeah, it's doing its thing, and the xenomorphs are not going to be able to handle it. I'm not kidding, you guys. I'm really not kidding. They are not going to be able to keep themselves in their stuff, hiding. Okay, they're not going to be able to do it because it's going to be glitching out whatever technology they're using to camouflage themselves. Can you imagine going out on a lunching date with your best friend? Say like there's five of you and you guys are sitting at a table, hanging out in the sun, having a good time. I don't know, drinking I don't know, a couple of drinks, just sitting there having a good time. And I don't know, just say like all of a sudden you see um let's say Will. All of a sudden Will's laughing and all of a sudden he glitches and then all of a sudden you see his whole face. He's reptilian looking, he has scales, he's got the eyes, and then he glitches back into himself and he realizes he glitches and you just saw it. And then he gets up and excuses himself from the table suddenly. And then you're trying to talk yourself out of what you just saw. Yeah. Whole new meaning to the friendship, isn't it? I could just imagine how that's going to be happening to so many people in the coming months. I'm used to it because I see a lot of them. And I'm like, wow, look at you. Whoa. It'd be so quick. It's so quick when it happens. And like I said, grocery stores, when you're looking like in the meat counters, anywhere where there's glass and you can see the reflections behind you, yeah, you'll see some strange stuff. In and out, click, click, click. Just saying. I'm just saying. Not making that stuff up. That's why I always tell people, I said, if you only knew some of the things I've seen on this planet, it would make you question everything. What you think you know and what you don't know. Yeah, it really does. Makes you question everything. And that's where you need to be. It's question everything. Everything. Question it all. When you look at things, is that real? Is that somebody real that you're looking at? Or is it computer generated? How do you know? I know. Okay. But how do you know what you're watching isn't a computer generated person that you're watching that's giving you this info? How do you know? That's where we're headed to. Because there's a certain kind of frequency that you have to be in to see it all. Yeah, there comes a time when you're gonna want to be drinking. For sure. But sometimes some people gotta do what they gotta do. You gotta drink a little bit, or numb yourself out because some of the stuff you see is like, whoa, what the hell did I just see? And then there's times when you say, I can't do that anymore because I need to be fully present so I can see truth and authentic. Okay. All right, lovelies, be good to yourself. Be good, be good, be good. I had to share that story with all of you about the peacocks. Okay. And here's the thing. What are the chances of that happening? Me getting lost on the back road somewhere in Lincoln trying to get out and then looking and ending up in some cemetery area and three peacocks are walking across in front of my car. What's the chance of that? I literally sat there with my mouth wide open saying, the hell am I just peacocks? So, everyone, be good to yourself. Thank you for joining me here on Be So Light, and that is a wrap. So, be good to yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Get ready for the full moon this week. I believe it's on Friday, and just be good to yourself. Okay, stay out of drama. Don't let nobody get you pulled into their drama. Just look at it and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're choosing to experience that. Have a great day. Bye. Gotta go." I'm sorry. This phone call that we're having right now is coming to an end. Click. There you go. .com. All right. Anyway, be lovely to yourselves. Have good, healthy boundaries. All right. Much love to all of you. Bye.